Hello guys and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. We're going to go ahead and get straight into it and then we can kind of talk whilst the time lapse is going. So this is the map we're going to be using. I'm not even going to pronounce this or try to. As you're about to see, we're going to kind of heavily modify this kind of terrain. Just give ourselves a lot more land to work with, but you'll kind of see that when we get into it. The mods that we're playing with, I will try and remember to leave some kind of link in the description, because there's about 115 mods and assets that we're playing with. So, and if I forget to kind of post that, shout at me in the comments. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into a time lapse, and I'm going to be honest, I recorded this footage about a year ago now. This was kind of before I started doing YouTube again, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll play City Skylines, and I kind of got so far, and then I was like, no, I'm not posting it. I'm not carrying on. Mainly because before I did this, I was only doing kind of Valheim videos, and I wasn't sure how it was going to be received. But since then, I've kind of been posting Minecraft videos for the past few months, and they've been going quite well. But I do want to diverse in games. And if you're coming from the Minecraft videos, obviously we're still going to be carrying on that series, but I really don't want to get burnt out on the world that we've been doing over there. And I think constantly playing and constantly recording the same game, it's just not going on well. So kind of not taking a break, but just taking a step back. I've been putting like so many hours into that world. I do want to carry it on, so I think we need to kind of mix up what we're doing on the channel, just to keep it fresh on the channel as well. I've been really enjoying playing City Skylines 2 again recently. Despite all the bugs, like, oh my god, there's just so many bugs. Luckily, touch wood, I've had kind of 1 or 2 crashes, and I haven't lost too much with frequent autosaves. And speaking of autosaves, I didn't realise I hadn't got them enabled for the longest time. And luckily I got away with it, but every so often you might see me panic and just hit that and quickly pause and save. But I did eventually kind of turn that auto save feature back on to give us a bit of a safety net, because City Skylines 2 do be crashing, especially with mods. And I have got a load of them, so the chances of it kind of screwing up obviously increases the more mods you add. But I use Skive, and it kind of tells you if there's any mods that are going to throw out errors or cause crashes, so it's pretty good. It's got it somewhat stable and somewhat looking okay. I'm still getting some kind of graphical issues, and you might see throughout the video like the game just looks completely different at points in time, and that's just because I think the time and weather anarchy can be a bit finicky. And but enough of that, I'll actually start talking about what we're doing on camera. This city is based off I want to say city. I mean, it's got a population of 41,000. It's a village and city in Switzerland called Chur. And I actually discovered this city when I was flying over to Cyprus last year. And I was looking out the window and I just saw it from above, and I was like, damn, that looks like a really kind of cool city. It's got a huge kind of train infrastructure. Obviously it's nestled within the mountains, the River Rhine flowing through it. It's just got a really kind of nice historic old town with just kind of loads of opportunities to have kind of these little detailed pockets of areas throughout the city. We've got all the area kind of on the foothills of the mountains that we can put luxury estates and kind of golf clubs and sporting facilities. And I've got a base of one mountain that I want to kind of put the university and the college campus. And I will kind of show at the end, I've divided the area up into regions just to kind of, so obviously I've got a vision in my head, but you guys are not mind readers. And I said about 5 minutes ago that I'd start talking about what's actually going on screen, and you can probably tell anyway. We're getting like the first interchange in. Obviously this map has come with it came with a basic 2-lane highway running through the valley. But I've kind of ripped all that out and flattened a lot of the kind of not swamp, but there's a lot of kind of low-lying water. I don't know what you call it. It's not big enough to be a lake, but But I've covered a lot of that up and kind of sculpted a river through the valley instead, trying to replicate the Rhine. Here I've just kind of raised up the terrain a little bit so we can get this first bit of train track laid down. And there is going to be a lot of terrain work in this series, I think, because I do want to get these different heights and different kind of viewpoints in the city to really trying to capture the layers. And if I show any screenshots of the city itself that it's based off, you'll see like it's kind of all these different layers, all these different roads overlapping, and it's just really interesting. And I'm just trying to capture that, so there will be a lot of kind of terrain work because this was all kind of flat down the bottom of the valley. But I imagine the actual city was more tucked into the mountain. So now we've got the basic interchange in, and the first bit of rail, I've come over here to this little area by the river to get our first bit of industry in. Now looking on Google Maps and Earth, it looks like it's some kind of material store where you go to buy like timber and stuff for building projects, that kind of thing. It's got kind of a big storage yard around the back with kind of loads of wood, and there is actually a little station up here as well, which I haven't actually put in yet because I was kind of debating whether I'd put the little metro line in here or not. The metro station, I should say. And then doing this building here, you can see I'm kind of clipping together a few different buildings to try and create the look I want. So I've kind of cut out the rest of this because it does change a little bit. Obviously, with this being kind of built a year ago, I came back to the world and I was getting some graphical issues, so I did have to kind of change it up. And because I've already built it once, I didn't really kind of record it again. So I've kind of skipped forward, and I'll just kind of show you what it looks like in the live play at the end. So now moving on to the basic services, we're kind of 10 minutes in and we're just placing our water supply. And I just didn't want to kind of place down anything, so this area where I've put this water tower was going to be like a park area, so I thought I could kind of incorporate the water tower as well, make it kind of a little touristy, like a local tourist hotspot where the locals come, they can bring a picnic, they can play on the park. But we'll get to that later because we are now getting in the power, and I wanted to get this as close as possible, and I do end up adding a key wall on the train track in the end, just so we can push it right up against the tracks, because I do need to get a road back in along here. As you can see, I've kind of chopped it off just so I can place this substation. So I'm here thinking, what to do? So we put in a piece of track there just so we can change this one specific bit to a key wall, or a retaining wall, I should say. I don't know. Yeah, key wall? Yeah, it's a key wall. And then we can kind of push that transformer station right in there. With it being a smaller village, we aren't producing our own power yet. It doesn't mean we won't do it in the future, but everything I'm building, I want to build kind of with purpose, and I want every kind of bit of this city to be detailed and feel alive. So I don't want to try and cram a whole kind of power plant building video into this video. That'll kind of be its own video later on once the city's more established. So as you can see, we don't have any houses at the moment. We're 10 minutes in and we've got no houses. This is great. This is great content.
This is the worst.
So now what I'm doing, obviously we got our substation in, but we've got no way of connecting to it, and I didn't want to connect to this road right next to it. One, because that was like the easy option, I guess, and two, just having it zigzag through here just adds so much kind of like visual interest. And what I'm doing here, I'm kind of like picking different layers that I want, and then I'll come in with the slope tool and just kind of merge the different layers together, as you can see, just giving us this really nice winding slope up the hill to the side road there. And you'll see shortly kind of the difference this makes to the area. I'm so proud, so proud, considering this is the first kind of proper time I've detailed in city skylines. And I'm going to be honest, I can't take all the credit. I mean, I can't even take any. I could take a little bit of credit. Like, if it wasn't for the modding community, guys like Sully, G87, like Mike Builds, producing all these quality kind of net lanes and decals, and this game would be dead. Like, this, I feel like City Skylines has just been relying on the modding community way too much, and obviously I'm grateful for all the modders, but like they definitely should be on the payroll for Paradox. That's all I'm saying, and it's all I will say. Like, these guys are doing God's work. And if you haven't heard of any of these guys, I'm pretty sure they've all got their own kind of YouTube channels, so definitely go and check them out. Especially Mike Builds, I use a lot of his kind of techniques, and obviously his net lanes, which we'll get to shortly. So definitely go and check him out 100%. And here I am spamming bushes, because apparently that's what makes stuff look good. And like I say, obviously this is my first bit of detailing, so I do get better. I think bush spam like that, it's good in some places, and looking back, like, I've got to be kind of careful with how much I do like that. And then just coming in and dotting a few trees just really kind of adds to the area, I think. And then this area, I think it'd be a bit more maintained, so putting a couple of oak trees there. I'm using here one of his net lanes. It's honestly so easy to use, like, and it adds so much. Like, I mean, just look at it. Like, oh, and then if you do get any kind of patches, there's a load of decals as well. But that is just one net lane, and look how just pause the video and just admire that road. And then coming under here, just adding a bit of a variation to the grass using the riverbed thin, I think it is, from Sully. Just a bit of brown and kind of a few rocks, just to break up that green a little bit, blend it in with the bushes, just layering up the detail. I think the more layers you add, the more you play. I mean, I could detail all day, I'm not gonna lie. And just talking of detailing, I think for this series there probably will be times where I do a bit of detailing off camera, just because I just love it. Like, it's almost like painting. Like, I'll just keep doing it, and obviously there is a point where it is done, but it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. So once you've seen it once, you've kind of seen it. So I'm showing you the stuff here now, like, once, and then that's it. You've never seen it again. So obviously I wanted to get a bit of an interesting path in, so I didn't want it directly on the road. I wanted it to be a bit separated. So I've just kind of used the highway, and then I've run the path alongside. And then in between, we're just using my build's kind of double-sided grass with the kind of grey edges, just to kind of blend it in with the road. And it just kind of breaks up that harsh edge of the vanilla road. And what I do, I kind of place straight pieces, and then come in after and just kind of give it that subtle little bend where it needs. And I feel like it's a lot easier and a lot quicker to do than trying to curve it as you go. And then if there is any kind of little splits, we can come in with the decals that he provides. Just kind of patch them in. And obviously this path is going to carry on, but I'm almost building a section at a time. Imagine the map's like a big paint by numbers, and this kind of little area is kind of one square we've painted today. Like the Bob Ross of City Skylines. Well, the paint by numbers Wish version. Again, using another one of Mike's net lanes, the roadwear version. Having a bit of trouble here on the straight. But yeah, just kind of laying that over, and it just takes away from the cleanness. Like, vanilla roads, man, like, Paradox, what are you doing? Like, have you ever seen a road look like this? Because I haven't, I swear. The roads where I am are more potholes than roads, I'm not going to lie. So this is still too clean for my liking. But like I say, if I will go start adding a load of potholes to like an area you're not going to really see, it's trying to find that balance of detailing too much, and I don't think I'm ever going to find the balance. Please save me. What have I done? What have I gotten myself into? Coming in with a surface from G87 just to cover up the vanilla path. I mean, I don't know whether this makes a lot of sense for the area because it's kind of like on the outskirts of town. Whether this would be something that they'd have, like a little bit more of a fancier path. But I was just kind of playing around at this point, like I say. Experimenting with all the details, getting used to all the tools and stuff. So I do get a bit carried away in some places. And then just heading over to the substation itself, griming up the building itself, griming up the floor. Then I put in this hazard marking, just because obviously you wouldn't want this area kind of blocking, because you'd need access around the back. And then what I did, I kind of moved it down a couple of notches with the Move It mod, just to take that shine away, because it looked a bit too clean. And then just coming in with a few cars, or with a car, because I'd feel like you'd either have kind of security or somebody manning it at any point, any one point. And then just a trailer for them overnight shifts, you know what I mean? And then because I've added this transformer station in, the road above did get a bit too close to the highway. I did try to add a key wall into, obviously, the local road originally, but it messed up with the roadware net lane, so I had to get a bit creative. So what I've done, I've added a sound barrier to the highway, and then I've come in and put slabs along the back of it just to kind of infill the kind of area. And I don't think it looks too bad. At the moment, we're kind of really zoomed into one specific area, so obviously these little details are obviously a lot more noticeable, but kind of when we're zoomed out, you're not going to really notice it, but it all adds to the overall feel. It doesn't make it any kind of less important, but it's not something that needs to be kind of super detailed. So just using Move It to kind of align them all to the same height, and then just kind of nudging them back in, because I didn't realize they were poking through the sound barrier at first. And then we're just kind of trying to get this area finished up, because I'm terrible for half finishing things. So just getting a bit more of the surface down, the riverbed surface as a base. And then we'll come in with our favourite bush spam. And I was just looking at these bushes and I was like, they're a little bit too high. Like, wasn't really the vibe I was going for. So I kind of wanted to move them all down a little bit. And here I am struggling to deselect them two bushes and to try again. And there we go, just kind of lowering them down, clipping them into the ground a little bit, and then going through it individually, selecting ones that need a bit of special refinement. Beautiful. And then I feel like we're still missing Summit, so we're adding our first rocks to the series. So I've opened the floodgate of that now. So there's gonna be rocks everywhere. And I like, yeah, this adds so much, I think. This looks so much better now. Or does it? Maybe. I don't know. And once again, adding our little kind of merging net lane, I'll call it. Our grass net lane. And like I say, I'll only kind of show so much of this, because it all gets pretty much the same once you've seen it once. Patching up the awkward gaps with the decals. Just connecting it up to the bridge there. And that looks like so much better already. And there we go, we've placed our first house. Thanks for watching. Oh, just kidding. I've put this house down so I could place graffiti on it. Because I couldn't get it snapping to the side of this bridge upright. So I've placed it there and then kind of dragged it over. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a mod to be able to do this. I just need to find it on the mod store again. But I think that just adds a little bit of detail to the area. And then I was like, if there's graffiti down there, there's probably going to be people hanging out. So chucked a bit of litter down here, there, and everywhere. And then I was like, oh, if there's people going to be hanging around doing like graffiti and stuff, they're going to need to keep warm. So I put a barrel down and struggled to move it. Just kind of tucked that in between the bush there. And then moving on to back to the lighthouse. It's time to get this kind of lighthouse, water tower, I should say. It's time to get in the park area. So I deleted that original road because I hated it, and just dragged out the gravel road. And I don't know if this is going to carry on. I think it'll just kind of lead to some gate into kind of the nature is not reserve, but kind of nature area. We're going to have like a little walk starting from here. People could kind of come down, park up. There's going to be like a little food stall, picnic benches, and then there's going to be like a little path running alongside the river with kind of benches and parks, and hopefully that'll attract citizens. And I placed this part down, and Jesus Christ, what is that? And I'm like frantically trying to delete it. Like, what is it? I thought my game messed up. Like, there's no way that should be that should be a thing. And thank God for better bulldozer, because pray for the vanilla players who play with that. Unless this isn't even a vanilla park. And then and then just getting in with the better bulldozer again. I've deleted the net lanes. And then I've deleted the invisible parking. Just because we've already got our parking in. And then I've deleted the fences, the parking signs, the barriers. And then we're just going to go ahead and put in our bit of a surface. I was struggling to kind of what to put down for the park. And then I had a bit of a brainwave.
So, Mario, you got brain freeze?
No, I got brainwave.
I was like, oh, why don't I just kind of surround each individual area with sand? And I think this has a really cool effect. I think it just kind of, I don't even know, frames each kind of park item, if that's what you call it. And I've just noticed there's another slide and exit there on the right that I didn't put sand at the bottom. Oh god, the surface is back. Oh god.
No! God, please, no!
Delete. And this is the second time of many that I have to go through and delete all the little items, because if you even slightly move it, they all kind of reappear, and I don't know why. Or if there's even a way to stop that happening. And like I say, we're getting a little walkway in, little pathway, just kind of meandering along these pylons. Yeah, it's probably not the best of walking paths with the pylons being there, but you're still walking along the river, so I think it'll still be a nice walk. Regardless. Now, just back to the park, we're just trying to blend it in a bit more using the riverbed base. Just blending it in with the surrounding area. I've also used the sand kind of grass mixture. Again, from, I think, Sully's Beach texture pack. Just to kind of, obviously the sand won't be pristine with all like kids running about. So it definitely get kicked into the surrounding grass areas. Oh, and you'll notice kind of some of the park items have disappeared here. They do come back. I just have to move the park to get them back in. I don't know why they do that. So that's just about it for the park. We are 28 minutes in, and we are finally getting the first houses down. So I've laid a bit of a basic road layout just coming off our, I think it's off our highway interchange road, just to get us a few houses down to begin with. And I don't know how much population this is going to give us, or I think it does fill the low density demand, so that is all good. And then just obviously going back to the city that this is based off, I did really want to try and capture this whole kind of interchange area. So it's pretty kind of like for like, I'm going to be honest. I think I've done a pretty good job, and we'll definitely show it side by side later on. But like I say, it's not going to be a one-to-one scale. We're just going to take bits of inspiration. Just going to take different parts of the city that we want to include and kind of merge it all together into kind of one like super city. Alright guys, holy moly, what a time lapse. About half an hour, I think. For the long time lapse is because there's only certain times I'm able to record voice as well. Whether it's because I'm too tired, etc, etc. But I can still jump on and do some detailing and record and kind of put that into a time lapse. So it's not a format I've really done before. I've always kind of mixed time lapses and with the live plays. So if I've done a time lapse, it's only kind of been a part of the video. But I've kind of enjoyed this process where I've kind of made the whole big time lapse edited down and then done the voice recording over it. Kind of helps me because I can I can only really concentrate on one thing at a time. So if I'm trying to detail and talk at the same time. Oh, it just doesn't work. So it's helped me in that regard. And well, anyway, we'll have a look at what we've done. Let's start logically, shall we? So we'll just start down here at the entrance to the city. Well, the current entrance, because it's about 10 houses. So I can't even call it a city, let's be honest. But yeah, we're coming down here. We've got questionable head clearance, but we'll kind of sort this out once we've got cars and vehicles using the highway, so we can kind of gauge how high this needs to be. And then I've come in here and just put in a bit of a custom support, because it was like this, which I hated, so I just kind of used these slabs, and looks like they've slightly come out of line. Maybe I've messed with the terrain, so I kind of need to neaten these up. It's also half finished. But I think you can get the idea of what I'm going for with these. I think this is going to look so much better, these kind of custom supports, than the vanilla. And then I had to kind of straighten up this middle support because it was cutting into the road. And then just before we head into the main area that we've done today, this is kind of what I built off camera. It still needs a bit of work, and we'll probably finish this up in an episode in the future. Obviously, we haven't got enough labour yet because we're probably technically still at 0 citizens. These have literally just moved in when I've loaded the game back up again. But this is, you can kind of see what I'm going for here, I think. Kind of the storage back here. We'll have a bit of a goods yard here. Can have kind of freight loading if we need. And then in real life, there is a bit of a metro station here, like I said. So I'm not sure whether I'll put this in or not, or whether just kind of have this as a bit of a goods yard, because that's what I was going for originally. Then following the road out of here, this is going to be a little restaurant. I'm just kind of plot this down at the moment, just a low density business. I think I like the building shape, but I haven't really done much with it yet, as you can see. Just got the car park in the background, and then we'll have like a little bit of a road zigzagging up here and heading off into the distance, because I want some farms along here, I think. That'll look pretty cool. And there we go. I'll actually use photo mode, so there isn't a big UI blocking everything. So over the road, we've got our little park area. Just kind of use the textures over the custom parking lot. Just kind of give it a bit of a gravel texture. And then I put in these cars. I tried to place them so they won't be blocking the actual parking spaces. So hopefully when cars actually come to use this, they're not clipping through, but that's something we'll have to test as and when. And then I did put a little bit of a fence round, and I'm sure I put one kind of here as well, but it's disappeared, but not to worry. So this is our little custom park that we built. And to think this is an actual asset that obviously is going to attract people. And all we've really done is chucked a couple of textures down and deleted a few props. I think it's come out really well. This area to the right I've just kind of left open, you know, for dog walkers, stuff like that. Just, I think open spaces are just important. It's like they're built up. Oh my god. What is this bush doing? So yeah, that's the park area so far. Like I say, we've still got a load of work to do. I want to get a load of rocks around the water tower, and then kind of put in a bit of a beachy area. Obviously it will be a gravel beach. Maybe chuck a few more picnic tables in around using the park assets, but we'll have to wait till the next episode for all that shenanigans. So leading back out of the park, we come up the main road. And then this brings us to our first highway connection. And I'm just using the road builder here to give us some interesting kind of lane. So obviously this is based off a European city, but I'm from England myself. So I will be taking a lot of inspiration from what I see around, and obviously from what I'm seeing on Google Earth and maps and of Chur in Switzerland. So these like these 2-lane roads, we call them like national roads. They've got like a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. And these are kind of what you'll see running through the countryside. But if you ever need to kind of turn off these roads, they do normally have dedicated turning lanes, because if you're kind of wanting to turn left here, if you didn't have this dedicated turn lane, you'd have to sit here and then cars coming around this bend doing 60. It's going to be a bit of a hazard. So I'll still need to kind of get some lane markings in here, because obviously this would be a giveaway. Your car would come into here, hopefully. If there's nothing coming, just straight on. Now, I could put traffic lights here, but how I've got the road set up at the moment, the traffic lights kind of ran across the whole section, blocking the straight on lane as well. So I just kind of left them without. I think we'll see how the citizens use this this junction, if it does start building up, or if cars start cutting across here. I'll just have to separate these lanes into separate roads, just so we can individually kind of use lights here. I think that is good enough for now. Started kind of texturing up the bits in between. I wanted this to look a bit more dead on the grass. I was looking for a dead grass texture, but I couldn't find one, so I just settled with the old riverbed again. So just coming over the bridge now, you've got this nice big tree in the centre of the roundabout, and you can kind of see what I was going for with the layers, just so you, if them houses in the background was on the same layer, then you wouldn't be able to see them, but it just kind of adds to the depth of the scene, I think. And you've got our little campfire at the bottom of the screen there. I think this looks so cool. And of course, cities being cities, you've got some graphical issues under the bridge there, but I think that's more road builder, to be honest. Honestly, like, there's just so many different cool angles. Like, you got this path. Not so much that way. Yep, not so much that way. But yeah, this way. Oh, yes. Look at it. Oh, look at it. Right. Time for the pinnacle of this video, the substation. Oh god, this is peak Skylines content. So as you saw in the time lapse, just kind of tried to grime up the building a little bit. It does go over the windows, but to gads to it. I don't think we can really be stressing over them kind of details. Yeah, just put a few bit of grime on top of the roof as well, because obviously we're mainly looking down on the build, so just adds to a bit of detail there, especially around the back here where the dumpster is. Just really wanted to grime that up, because that's somewhere that wouldn't get cleaned if this does get cleaned at all. And then one thing I did want to add is a couple of generators. Just with it being a smaller town, I think a couple of backup generators for like the emergency kind of power for certain things. Obviously these won't power homes, they're just kind of maybe for a hospital in the future. And realistically, the only reason I added the generators because I found this truck. I was like, oh, I can't use a fuel truck, because why would a substation need oil? Well, need fuel. So I was like, maybe they've got a backup generator. So I chucked in a couple of fuel tanks, and then a couple of generators around the back there, and just added this little person. Unfortunately, there aren't any with high-vis jackets, but here's our security checking the driver credentials. And then just because this road is so nice, we'll just take this back up. Again, very questionable height clearance here. But we'll just ignore that for now. That truck definitely fitted underneath there. And then for here, I really wanted to kind of make it look like this road had been proper carved into the hillside. So obviously this bit in the middle. still raised up. Oh, it just looks so cool. And again, we're just pulling a road off the highway here, well, off the national road. Just use the dedicated turning lanes, especially with the traffic we'd get down here, being the lorries. We don't want them sitting and blocking the main lane when they're trying to turn. And then this little patch of area here is going to be a kind of future construction site. Maybe it was kind of some old apartment building at one point and then they've knocked it down. And I'm not sure what I'm going to build there, but it's going to be a construction site for the foreseeable. And then it could potentially turn it into something. And we've got people parking here. Yes, ignore all this. Just ignoring the south of the river here. Just thought I'd show you the overall view of the city. I've just started kind of laying out some basic road networks. Got kind of obviously the main highway snaking through, and then this will kind of lead out this way. And then we've got our main arterial here coming off the highway, and then this is going to lead up here, and then we'll have a road going up here, and then obviously this comes across, and then this road will kind of lead out of the city up the valley, and then this will be a really nice winding country national highway. And then coming back in, we just kind of cut right straight through the heart of the city. We've got our kind of main station area that we're going to have here. This roundabout on the river is the old town. Hopefully I'll put up a picture of what I mean when I say roundabout on the river. I'm hopefully going to try and recreate this in city skylines. Whether it's going to be possible or not, I don't see why it shouldn't, but I'll definitely give it a good go. And then up here, I'm thinking like some really kind of luxurious houses, some villas, maybe some hotels right along this kind of river. We'll probably widen this up a little bit, just a touch, neaten it up. I haven't really done much landscaping work up here. Maybe get a kind of golf course here, I'm thinking. Well, yeah, obviously that's way into the future. And if you've got any ideas for what these areas, then definitely let me know below. I think here we're going to have the university just in between the two arterials. We can kind of connect to either one or both. Obviously we don't want people cutting through, so we'll have to be careful with that one. We want kind of forced traffic round, but we could potentially have some kind of other arterial just missing in the future. I put a train yard here. Originally, the industry was going to be here with the train yard at just after the main station, and then I was going to have like a branch line coming down here, and then alongside the river. But the wind direction is going from right to left as we're looking at it now. So obviously, I don't want to place my industry at the right hand side and just pollute my whole city. So I've had to kind of flip it around and then put in the industry here. So the train line's going to come in here, and I'll just kind of place these temporarily. Come in here, up to the top, just below where Old Town's going to sit. We're going to get to the main station area, then it's going to come loop back down. It's going to branch off into the industrial area. So it's going to branch off, and then we're going to have a big kind of storage yard here. As in a, what they're called. We're going to have a big sidings here. And then it's going to branch off and then into the industrial area. Kind of with the train lines coming in and out of there. And then the main line is obviously going to come down here and connect up to what we've built today. And then this train yard can kind of link back up the other side here and then back in over here. So that's kind of the plan for the city. So as you can see, what we've done today is only a small percentage. And then last but not least, our very, very small village of, what's that, like 12 houses, 15 houses? Now, I haven't really done too much with the houses because I wanted to really go into detail with this little first area and make it into its own video, but I couldn't really release a first episode of City Skylines without without building a single house. So we just put these in well, not temporarily. They're going to stay, but obviously it's far from finished. And then found this little garage here. We're going to make this look as if it's run down. Obviously, that will have to wait until the next video, I'm afraid. But hopefully from this introduction to the series, you can kind of see the direction and the vibe I'm going for the city. I want kind of each area to be really have purpose, I guess. Like, I want each area to be detailed. I want it to have meaning. I don't want to kind of just place stuff down for the sake of it. I want it to feel alive. So I really want to take my time with these little areas. Like, I've probably spent, oh, God knows how, too many hours. And all I've really built is kind of what you can see on screen now. Obviously, there's a lot of landscaping work and all that kind of stuff and planning. And if you've played City Skylines, you know how kind of annoying the landscape and roads and all that stuff can be at times. So things do take a lot longer than you hope, but we're in no rush. I want you guys to be able to kind of recognize each area and really get to know each area. So I think kind of taking the time, like doing these detailed builds and then taking the time at the end to properly walk through it so you guys can see and hopefully pick up some ideas for your own cities, because I personally love obviously watching other YouTubers and getting inspiration and ideas, and hopefully you guys can do the same from my video. Alright guys, that just about wraps it up for today. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I really can't wait to see how this city develops, and if you want to do the same, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification so you get alerted when the next video drops. And if you've enjoyed the video or learned anything new, make sure you hit that like button. It really does help that channel out a lot. And was I right? Is this the best substation you've ever seen? You'll have to let me know down below. I think it is. But I am biased. Guys, I really can't wait to see you in the next episode. Ginge out.